कर दिया है. The speech has been within the limitations जो honorable chairman ने clarify किया. Please, नहीं. Your time starts now. आप speak. No debate, please.
Sir, the time may be.
Yes, it starts now. You speak. You speak.
Sir, I was saying, in considering the election reforms, we have to consider the Constitution of India, the Representation of People Act 1950, Representation of People Act 1951, the Conduct of Election Rules 1961, and the Registration of Electoral Rules 1960. Sir, the Constitution being the supreme charter enshrines the fundamental principles of the governance. The Representation of People Act provides for allocation and delimitation of constituencies as well as the qualification for the voters. The Representation of People Act 1951, it's a comprehensive statute governing the actual conduct of elections. The procedural guidelines are given, conduct of election rules in 1961, and how a voter to be registered, what are all the qualifications are given in registration of electors rules 1960. Sir, while Article 324 gives enormous power to the Election Commission with regard to the matters relating to the preparation of electoral rolls, 325 and 326 deals with the eligibility of the voters. Sir, 327 deals with the powers of this Parliament to enact rules. Sir, let me divide my speech on two parts. Number one, the conduct of election. Number two, electoral rules. The electoral rules, which is now the subject matter of SIR, which is called as intensive revision, special intensive revision. But according to me, it is a specified inclusion and specified removal of voters. That's my understanding of SIR, be that it may. Sir, this SIR is opposed by all political parties as unconstitutional, illegal, ill-timed, no proper methodology has been devised, puts the citizen under hardship, and usurps the power of the Parliament. This is most important problem of SIR, that the Election Commission of India wants to usurp the power of this Parliament. Sir, I'll elaborate it later, but this also usurps the power of the Home Ministry. That they have to understand. Sir, my speech is going to be completely apolitical. I'm going to speak on the law because we are considering the reforms. Maybe. Though it is when we are considering the reforms, what the law is in existence, how it is to be reformed is to be considered. Sir, my good friend Mr. Trivedi was saying that you did that, he did that, all that. That's not the consideration for our discussion today. What we are aiming at is to reform the elections towards 100% purified elections. Are we having that system now is the question. In my opinion and in my view and my study, we don't have a foolproof elections as on today. I'll explain why it is happening like that. Sir, if one has to understand the process in India about the elections, they have to see what is provided under the Representation of People Act 1951. Sir, Representation of People Act Section 169 2EE provides like this, that the Parliament can enact rules, the manner of giving and recording of votes by means of voting machines, and the procedure as to voting to be followed at polling station where such machines are used. From this, it is clear that this Parliament alone can devise the methodology of casting votes through EVMs. But what is happening now, there is a provision under Rule 49 capital A of the Conduct of Election Rules 1961, which was enacted by this Parliament, which needs a serious consideration. Why I am saying that is that it provides that the electronic voting machine shall have a control unit and a balloting unit and shall be of such design as may be approved by Election Commission. The whole problem emanates from this. Because we have given this power to the Election Commission of India. We have not gone into the design. We are not aware of the design. The people who are casting their vote are not aware of that design. What is happening that VVPAT also was later introduced in 2013. Sir, now the EVM design, which is devised by the Election Commission of India, is causing the most problems. Why I am saying this? Most of the issues were debated in the courts. Sometimes courts have rejected it. Sometimes said, I am expressing my faith in the Election Commission. Sometimes say, change this pattern, change this procedure so as to attract transparency. In spite of all that, what is happening is, in 2024, the Election Commission released a book, namely, Frequently Asked Questions about EVMs. Only 2 questions. It is having about 102 questions framed by Election Commission, answered by Election Commission. 2 questions are very, very important. Question number 35 is, how are the political parties, candidates and their representatives involved in EVM process? For that, the answer was, no, we are giving the machines to you for first level checking, for first randomization, second randomization, mock polls, everything. So that is how we keep the transparency. Question number 52. There, the question was, EVM with, I quote, EVM with VVPT introduction is no more standalone device since it has to be connected to symbol loading unit for symbol loading. Sensors, printer, light mechanism needs drivers along with the microcontroller. Hence, how can it still be called a rudimentary device? That's the question raised by Election Commission. Answer. Symbol loading unit is part of the EVM infrastructure. The control unit, ballot unit with VVPAT still remains a standalone device. In order to print the VVPAT slips, VVPAT needs to have the symbol information, so and so, so and so. But how it is, that is symbol loading unit, is a standalone device, is not answered by at all by the ECI. They cannot answer also. The problem where it emanates is, before 2024, or at least till 2021 elections, what they used is generation 2 machines, called as M2 machines. Now, 2024, you are using M3 machines, generation 3 machines. The difference between that, to understand the difference, one have to imagine a computer, what is available in your office or in the home. What an ordinary computer is, there is a keyboard. Whatever you type in that keyboard will be stored in the CPU, namely Central Processing Unit. Later, whatever saved can be printed or shown in the monitor. The M2 machines followed the same protocol. Ballot unit, the voter cast his vote, which will be recorded in the control unit, like CPU. What is recorded in the control unit will be printed and shown in the monitor. Without anybody's consultation, without notifying the Parliament, without taking anybody into confidence, the political parties, M3 machines are now introduced. The great difference is the VVPAT, which was lying on the last, has been brought in the middle. Means the the ballot unit, where the voter casting his vote, is directly connected to the VVPAT. VVPAT is then connected to the control unit. Now what happens? You cast your vote, print will happen, the monitor will show, thereafter it will be saved. So there is no direct interface between the voter and the control unit. And in the VVPAT, after the nomination withdrawal is over, officials will come and load the symbol loading unit, which is a computer mechanism. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what is the data stored in that SLU. Like these machines are undergoing various examination by the political parties, first level checking, first randomization, second randomization. The SLU is not given for examination by anybody. The political parties, none of us are having any control over or knowledge over what is SLU means, what is SLU is, when it is being fixed, who is doing that. Now, after printing your vote, after showing you in the monitor of VVPT, when giving command to the control unit, you have to record this particular symbol. There can be any number of changes through a microchip. This is the problem. Without deharsh SLU, there is one more interesting answer given by ECI in that frequently asked questions. Question number 62. In that, Election Commission of India admits, it's still available in their website, that the margin of error in report of the committee was put as 2%. That is, for every elections, there will be 2% error in the counting of votes. Then, while it is true that a 2% margin of error has been considered in the report, but the confidence level considered is also far higher at the rate of 99.993. They have not stopped there. They said it is 4 sigma level. Sir, sigma level in the computer parlance is that the reliability of the machine. 6 sigma level considered to be the perfect. Even 6 sigma level is about 99.99%, not even 100%. 4 sigma level is only 99.3%. That means the reliability of EVM is much higher than 2% of the reliability. So, sir, these EVMs have to undergo a lot of study. It has to be decided. The design is to be decided by the Parliament. The rules and the conduct of election rules have to be necessarily amended. That people of India, or the Parliament for that matter, cannot be kept away from deciding these designs. At last, we are electing the people. At last, we are having this Parliament. Who is this ECI to consider and decide the design? This design is not going to give you the 100% result, even according to ECI, as you desire. 100% purification of election is required. If it is required, Section 40, Rule 49 is to be accordingly amended. That's the first reform I suggest. Sir, apart from this, as I said, in 2024 onwards, the pattern changes happen. There is a possibility of manipulation. Sir, when we speak about free and fair elections, we speak of very soul of our democracy. The standard we must adopt is not merely that tampering is improbable. Tampering must be made impossible. The integrity of our election process cannot be a matter of probability or statistical likelihood. It must be an absolute certainty that admits no possibility of manipulations. Sir, with that, I would say that Rule 49 is to be amended accordingly. Sir, I want to say one more thing on the symbol loading unit. Sir, while loading the symbol loading unit, that is just after the withdrawal of nomination, why no political party, no candidate or his representative are taken into confidence? You are showing these machines at every stage to the candidates. Why symbol loading unit, SLU, is kept as a secret? That explanation is not coming forth from Election Commission of India for all these years. So the design should be analyzed, it should be discussed, Parliament should know the design, and people should know what is happening while they are recording their votes. Sir, I'll come to the next stage of the elections. After the elections, on the completion of election, 17C forms are given to every agent of all candidates on the closure of the election. Why not the Election Commission of India publish this 17C forms in their website on the, at least on the next day of elections? They are not doing this. That is why there is a lot of discrepancies between how much votes have been recorded, how much have been counted. This problem, sir, you can see in every newspaper after elections. There are votes counted more than what are polled, or votes not available for counting after what they are polled. For unless and otherwise, Election Commission of India publishes 17C forms on the next date of election, at least one day prior to the counting, in their website. There cannot be any certainty in that. Number one. Number two, in the 17C forms, which is annexed with the Conduct of Election Rules 1961, if you can see, that there is no column which provides for at what time the election was started and what time it was closed. Sir, should not it be a very matter of a concern? Because elections means what time it started, what time it's closed, at what time the end button is pressed should be recorded in 17C form. It will give more transparent account on the election. Not only that, sir, there are very many possibilities that the elections are stopped. They're saying that the machine is not properly working, VVPAT is not working. In those areas also, in that circumstances also, 17C form should provide a column when the election was stopped, when it was restarted. Unless and otherwise, this form 17C is amended suitably by this House or by this Parliament, there will be lack of transparency. Sir, the third one is counting of postal votes. In postal votes, there are two categories. I am concerned about postal votes which are called ETPBS, electronically transmitted postal ballots. Sir, there is no proper guideline in counting the electronically transmitted postal ballots, ETPBS. That causes a lot of confusion during the counting. So, I recommend and I suggest and I request this August House to consider bringing reforms in the Conduct of Election Rules 1961 so as to provide proper 17C, proper counting methodology for ETPBS, namely electronically transferable postal ballots. So now coming to the electoral rolls or the SIR. I will give in one sentence or small short sentences what are all the practical difficulties of SIR. Sir, the timeline is unreasonable. BLOs are not equipped. The forms were not printed on time. No monitoring of BLOs and BLA2s. Aadhaar is made mandatory, but ECI implicitly requires the voters to any other document. The difficulties of searching for 2002 and 2005 rolls, mismatch in the old SIRs. Then thereafter, the handwritten SIR forms are being uploaded, digitized. There comes a discrepancy. Self-mapping or progeny mapping are laborious task. Absent, dead, shifted votes are very, very high. Unfortunately, the shifted votes are very, very high in Tamil Nadu. We are apprehending lakhs of votes will be deleted. Sir, the SIR is conducted in monsoon, which makes the job more laborious. But that is a very smaller problem. The bigger problem comes here. I want this Parliament to be careful about ECI. Why? Because in one of the affidavit, which I happened to read, Election Commission of India informs the Supreme Court, saying that, I quote, sir, it's a very serious concern. It is submitted that no parliamentary law can host the jurisdiction of ECA. This is what ECA says in the Supreme Court. No parliamentary law can host the jurisdiction of ECA. Then, even with respect to laws framed in the exercise of Article 327, I read again, even with respect to the laws framed in the exercise of Article 327, Parliament must give due respect to the plenary powers of ECA. This is what ECA says. Sir, is it not a greater concern to every parliamentarian here? Everybody who is worried about parliamentary democracy should worry about this sentence of ECA. There is one institution wants supremacy over the parliament. Will you allow this? Sir, we have to do an introspection now. Whether men may come, men may go. Today you may have your yes man. Tomorrow if somebody else comes and takes this stand, where will it go? Sir, I say that this is the right time Parliament to rein on the powers of ECA. Yes. You cannot give such a complete freedom to the ECI. Because of that, what they do is they want to check the citizenship of people. What is citizenship? Who is to decide citizenship? It is the Home Ministry to decide. Now they want to check on the citizenship of each of the Indian people. So the law is that, as said by Dr. Ambedkar, the constitutional morality is that there is a presumption over the citizenship of a people. That presumption has to be respected. Now, ECI says, either you be a role in 2002, I will presume you will be the citizen of India, or otherwise, I will ask you documents to be furnished, prove your citizenship. Sir, there are three categories again. If I am born before 1987, I have to give my document alone. If I am born between 87 and 2004, I have to give you one parent's document. If I am born after 2004, I have to give my documents, both of my parents' documents. Sir, let us consider. Now, there are so many children who are called single-parent children. Where will they go? There are transgenders who are thrown out of the houses. Where they will go to give these documents? Yes. Have we analyzed these social problems in enumerating the voters? Number one. Very curiously, sir, in 12 states, they say as 13th document, if you are a voter on 1/7/2025 and voted in Bihar in November, you can become a voter in any other state. How can it be possible, sir? One of the conditions to become a voter, you should be an ordinary resident of that constituency. Yes. How can a member who was a voter, who was an ordinary resident of Bihar on 1/7/2025, can become a voter in any other state within 3 months? How can the Election Commission of India can put such a condition? Sir, that is why every political party, of course except AIADMK, opposes this SIR. Yes. As it is unconstitutional. Sir, why it is unconstitutional? You are usurping the powers of Home Ministry and the Union Government of India. You are usurping the powers of the Parliament. You are usurping the powers of the courts. Yes? Are you not opposing?
No discussion between you. You have taken his name.
I will do that, sir.
Sir, why does he speaking, sir?
Please.
He is speaking, sir. The time
Please.
is going.
No, not going on.
Time is going.
Please,
Sir,
sir.
give him some more time.
Sir, now
Some more time
the
for
questions
him.
are.
Some more time for him. This
The
is not
questions
time
are.
for him to interrupt. He can't
Whether
interrupt.
this government approves the stand of ECI, that the Parliament is having no power to use the jurisdiction of ECI, whether this government is going to empower the ECI to decide the citizenship of our people, irrespective of the fact no such power is vested with the ECI, whether this government is going to confer untrammeled powers to the ECI, which one day will destroy you. Sir, what we are demanding is transparency, accountability. 1 minute, sir, I am completing.
Please come.
What we are demanding is that possibility of tampering should be made impossible, not left to the statistical probability. Sir, I urge this House to take cognizance of these concerns. I urge the government to respond to these issues with the seriousness they deserve. I urge all political parties, regardless of their current election fortunes, to unite on this fundamental issue. Today you may win with the system, tomorrow you may lose. But the integrity of our election process must be beyond all doubt, beyond all suspicion,
Thank you.
beyond all questioning.
Thank you,
sir.
Mani Sanjay